Every haunt needs a killer soundtrack to put you in that terrorific mood. And this gentleman next to me does just that. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to the ghouls at home and tell them what the hell it is you do.
My name is Jon Autopsy. I do soundtracks for Halloween and haunted attractions like Not Scary Farm, things like that.
Very killer, very killer. What got you into the haunt music gig?
You know, I've always been started working haunted attractions back in 2000 and 2002. Had a soundtrack in the maze that I was working in that was just all police sirens.
Nice.
And you know, I started to hear that in my sleep after a while, and I'm like, you know what, I could have written something so much better than just, you know, solid police sirens. And you know, started doing that just for fun. And eventually, people said, hey, you know, we'd like you to write for us, and you know, it just kind of took off.
And the rest is history, as they say. Now, you approach haunt music with a different style than most. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, I figured, you know, I mean, Midnight Syndicate's big in the industry. They've got the whole, you know, goth, symphonic, Victorian music covered, and, you know, they're great people, and I figured that, you know, me always being into industrial music like Ministry and acts like that, you know, I figured I could do something more, you know, more industrial and still make it Halloween music, and that's pretty much what I've been doing ever since.
Absolutely, and I'm sure it separates you as well. And the mazes, different themes of the mazes, I would think your music would be much better suited for than a Midnight Syndicate track, which we loathe Midnight Syndicate, but just saying.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I, you know, it was just one of those things where I figured, you know, being a big fan of industrial and thinking that there's so many other things that, you know, a barnyard maze or something isn't going to necessarily want a Victorian soundtrack. You know, Midnight Syndicates would be the people that go to for something more goth and vampire stuff, and I'm like, well, I can do something like that. I can customize soundtracks for people who need something specific, as opposed to just, you know, the general thing you can buy at a you know, a scary store or something, a Halloween store or something like that.
Right, absolutely, and that way you can really create the whole world that the maze is, which is awesome. Now, if in a perfect world, if you could maybe design the maze yourself, or is there a specific like haunt or haunt theme that you would really like to do music for, or have done music for?
You know, I had a lot of fun working with Winchester Mystery House for their Fright Nights over the last couple of years, and they're great people. It's hands down one of the most professional, and just, I mean, they were very knowledgeable about what they wanted to do, and they just were great about getting revisions back to me and everything. They knew exactly what they wanted, and it was great to work with them. You know, just not only the creative team behind Fright Nights, but the Winchester Mystery House people as a whole. They were great people. I had a lot of fun working with them.
That is absolutely fantastic. For the viewers at home, is there a place where they can hear your music just at the haunts, or do you have a web presence or anything like that?
I've got jonautopsy.com. That's Jon Autopsy, Jon, no H. I've also got, I'm on Facebook. You can also hear my music for a lot of the attractions that I work with, just searching my name on YouTube. I've got a channel on there, so it's youtube.com/Jon Autopsy.
Well, Jon Autopsy is not a name you're going to forget anytime soon, boils and ghouls, so make sure you dig up everything you can on him.